Hello everyone. So finally we are live. So today our agenda is CMAT एग्जामिनेशन बड़ी जल्दी आने वाला है. So I hope आप सब लोग अच्छी तरीके से प्रिपेयर कर चुके होंगे. So today the purpose of this discussion is that we can discuss some basic questions kind of thing जो आप लोग कर चुके हैं और एग्जाम में जिनकी हमें आने की बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग प्रोबेबिलिटी है. So let's begin. So if we look at the questions of recent year papers of this CMAT, you'll find that most of the questions belongs to easy to moderate category. So although syllabus is very wide, they covers many topics, but the label of questions are very easy and generally the questions are direct, or you can say one-liner questions. So today I'll discuss some of the questions which you can expect in the examinations. So just give me 1 minute. Okay, so here we are. Okay, just a minute, hold on. I think the video is okay. So there are various topics we can expect in our examination in CMAT. So let's begin with one of the topic which is very common. Let's see time, speed, and distance. Okay, this is the last topic of arithmetic, but yes, many questions you can find from this topic. So let's begin. So सबसे पहला question which we can expect in TSD is they give you like when change of speed happens, the time changes. Like when speed increased by 20%, speed is increased by 20%. It takes 10 minutes less. So what will be the usual time? But yes, TSD का जब हम क्वेश्चन देख रहे हैं, so you will find कि rather saying 20%, you can find that 1/5, okay, or 20%. In place of 20%, you will also find 1/5. So when speed is increased by 1/5, it means what will be the usual time? But yes, it means the time speed has been decreased by 1/5. So what will happen to time? So now this kind of questions you can solve directly. So look at how we solve this. The speed increased by 1/5 means if initial speed was 5, it increased by 1. It means speed has been increased from 5 to 6. So the time which is inversely proportional to speed must has been reduced from 6 to 5. And we know their difference is given as 10 minutes. So it means if initial time was 60 minutes, the new time is 50 minutes. Okay, so usual time of journey is 60 minutes and the current time of journey is 50 minutes. Okay, I think this is the problem. Now I got this. Just a minute, hold on. Okay, so this was the first type of questions where you get the change of speed has been happened. This speed generally happens in terms of ratio, or sometimes it may be in percentage. Now, the next question you can observe, when they say that speed has been increased from 50 kmph to 70 kmph, or generally they say traveling at 50 kilometer per hour, a man reached destination, let's see, 10 minutes late. And when speed is increased up to 70, he could reach, let's see, 10 minutes early. Okay, so initially it was 10 minutes late. Second case, it was 10 minutes early. So we can do this in two ways, like equation we solve generally by putting equation distance equals to speed into time. Taking time here, 10 plus, t plus 10, here time t minus 10, then we can solve. But again, we can look at the same thing. We know that the distance is constant. We are going covering the same distance. It means when the distance is constant, you can look at d equals to s into t. I'm taking first condition, and this is the second condition. So d in both the cases are same. It means you can say s1 upon s2 equals to t2 upon t1. So distance, speed and time are inversely proportional as the earlier questions we can see. So speed has been increased from 50 to 70, or you can say 5 to 7. It means time has been changed from 7 to 5. Or here we can say the difference between time is 20 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes late, from 10 minutes late to 10 minutes earlier, it means the difference becomes 20 minutes. So it means initial time was 140 minutes and the new time was 100 minutes. So now we know that distance equals to speed into time. Speed is 60, time is 100, but it's in minutes. To convert this into hour, so this will be your answer, 700 upon 6, or you can say 350 upon 3 kilometers. Okay, this is very common question, so you can solve this question almost orally without putting any effort, like speed 5 to 7 means time 7 to 5, or 100 to 150. There is one more question which is very common we can find here, is that like, yes, we can discuss in the previous one as well. Like initially it was 10 minutes late, earlier it was 10 minutes early. Then they can ask you at what speed should he go, should he move to reach in time. So this is a very basic and easy question. So what they are saying, at a speed of 50 it was 10 minutes late. At speed of 70 he is 10 minutes earlier. At what speed should he drive to reach on time? Don't make it 60, it's not 60. So what we can do, simple, 2 into 50 into 70 upon 50 plus 70. You're supposed to find out the average speed, but yes, take care about this. The time he was late and time he is early should be equal. Okay, so in that case, just find the average speed, that will be your answer. So it becomes 7,000 divided by 120, and this is your answer, which is 175 upon 3 kmph. Okay, so the important thing which you need to take here, the time should be equal in both the cases. Okay, the next type of questions we can observe here are when it is given that certain train, it's a question based on train, are very common here. So a 200-meter long train takes, let's see, 15 seconds to cross a pole, okay, and 32 seconds to cross a bridge. Okay, so this is very common question. It is taking this much time to cross a pole and 32 seconds to cross a bridge, and in this case they ask generally the length of bridge. Okay, sometime it happens they won't give you the length of train, but they'll give you the length of bridge. Both are same questions. So we can say clearly, train takes 15 seconds to cross its own length. Like when a train cross a pole, it has to travel only its length. Like this is what the crossing begin, and this is the crossing ends. So it means if we look at the position of engine, we'll find it is equal to a length of train. On the other hand, if a train crosses a bridge, and if we look at the position of engine, we can find out the distance is length of bridge plus length of train. Okay. So now this is oral question. You won't have to do anything. Like we can say in 15 seconds, train covers 200 meter. Then in 17 seconds, train will cover X meter. Okay. So your answer is 3400 divided by 15 or divide by 5. So 680 divided by 3 meters. Okay, need not to do anything. Okay, you need not to find the length of you can say the speed of train and time and distance. Nothing, you need to do nothing. Like what I have done is, initially it was taking 15 seconds to cross its own length and 32 seconds to cross a bridge. It means own length plus length of bridge. So on length it covers in 15 seconds, so it means it must have taken 17 seconds to cross the bridge. So the length of bridge is 680 upon 3 meters. I hope it is clear to you. Okay. Look at the next questions which we find here. Like a train takes 20 seconds to cross a platform of 300 meter. Okay, and 30 seconds to cross a bridge of, let's see, 500 meters. In this kind of question, they ask you the length of train generally, and sometimes they may ask the speed of train as well. So we must take care here that they are not only asking about like when train is crossing a platform, train is covering own length plus the length of bridge or the platform, whatever. So in second case, we can see train took 10 seconds more to cover 200 meter more. So this is the speed of train, which is 20 meter per second. Okay. Now, if you want to find out the length of train, so speed of train, we got to know that it is 20 meter per second. So in 20 seconds, it will cover 400 meter, out of which 300 meter is the length of platform. So the length of train will be 100 meter. So these two questions you can find commonly based on trains. So if you look at these questions, these are very basic questions. Just what we supposed to check here is how much extra time it has taken and why. So it has taken 10 seconds more to cover 200 meter more distance. Okay. There is one more question we find based on train. Okay. A train begins from this station X at 10 a.m. and reaches B at let's see, okay, it's at 2 a.m. next day. Okay, not next day. Okay, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. Okay, train Y begins from this and reaches X. Okay, this train again begins at 10 a.m. and it reaches at 10 a.m. next day. Okay, so at what time will these two trains will meet? So in that case, now look at the question carefully. It's not actually the question of time, speed and distance. This question is from the time and work. Like this train takes 16 hours to complete its work, which is to covering the distance, and the another train is taking how much time? It's 24 hours to cover the distance or to complete its own work. Okay, so at what time will they meet? So in order to solve this question, we take, let's see, the distance is 48 kilometer. Okay, so 2 hours in at this. Okay, it was taking 24 hours. Distance is 48 kilometer. It means its speed is 2 kmph, and the speed of this train is 3 kmph. So to cover the 48 kilometer distance, they'll take 9.6 hours, or you can say 9 hours 36 minutes. At what time will they meet? So 19 hours and 36 minutes, because they started at 10 hours, 10 a.m. Okay, so this is the way we can solve this kind of questions. We just need to take the LCM, and whatever the LCM we will take as the distance, and then everything is easy. So these are the common questions which you can find in your examination based on trains. There are certain more questions, like one question we found based on race, like A beat B by 20 meter and B beat C by, again let's check, 30 meter in a race of, let's see, 200 meter. Okay, and now they'll ask you by how many meters A will beat C. That is a very common and normal question. Okay, so we can do this in two different ways. So one very easy way is, like when A covers 200, let's take 3% A, B and C. When A covers 200 meter, B covers only 180 meter. Okay, and we also know when B covers 200 meters, then C covers how much? It is 170 meters. Okay, just we need to find this value X, and this is your answer. So X equals to 153. So it means when A will cover 200, B will cover 180, C will cover only 153. So it means A will beat C by 47 meter. Okay. So this is a very easy kind of question, but we found this in exams very frequently. Okay. There is one more question you can find, like 2% A and B. A starts from point X, B starts from point Y towards each other. Okay, so I took this cross so that we can see 2% differently, rather than if I took this kind, so it is hard to, you can say, differentiate two people. So A move in this direction and B is moving in this direction. Okay, and this is the point. Now what they'll give you after crossing each other, okay, after this point, A takes let's see 9 hours. A takes 9 hours to reach the opposite end, and B takes 16 hours to reach the opposite end. Okay, now they can ask you two things, like how much time will they take to meet. Okay, if they begins at same time. Sometimes they'll give you that both begins at same time, which is 10 a.m. Okay, so you can calculate like this as well, or they can give you in this way as well, that A and B begins at same time, and after n hours they meet, or after t hours they meet, then find out the value of t. So simply the t equals to square root of 16 multiplied by 9, which is 12. Okay, so this is its first results from this question. Okay, sometimes they can give you in one way, or sometimes they give you in another way, like they can give you, okay, initially they meet in 12 hours and they miss one of the two value. So this time if I'll say X is taking time T1, Y is taking time T2, then T equals to under root T1 into T2. So whatever is given, you can put the value here and you can find the resultant. Okay, there is one more questions we observe, which is in time and work basically. Like when A and B together take X hours to complete the work. A and B together takes complete a certain piece of work. If A takes X plus 16 days and B takes X plus 9 days, then find out the value of X. Okay, let me repeat the question. If A and B work together, they can complete a piece of work in X days, while A alone takes X plus 16 days and B alone takes X plus 9 days. Find out the value of X. That is what the question is. Okay. So this is the same question we can see, like both together takes X days and A will take X plus 9 days or X plus 16 whatever, and B takes X plus 16 days. So again we can solve this like X equals to under root 16 into 9. X equals to 12. Okay, so this question is from the time and work. Basically this question from TSD, they ask you in the time and work as well. And the earlier question which we discussed, which belongs to basically like this one, where is the question? Yeah, okay, yes, this one. This belongs to type TSD, but they'll ask you in time and work. Okay, so this is important questions. Also they have one more thing, like they can ask you about the ratio of their speed of A SA upon SB. Okay, so SA upon SB equals to under root T2 upon T1, or you can say TB upon TA, but in square root. So B is taking 16 hours, A is taking 9 hours. So their ratio of their speed is 4:3. So this question they may ask in two ways, like in same question. Two things they can ask. This is the one thing, like the ratio of their speed, and they can also ask about the time they will take. Okay. TSD has multiple questions, like there are possibility to get 3 to 4 questions in your examination. That's why we have multiple types of question here to discuss. There is one more type of questions which we can find easily, like a question based on boats. Okay, so a boat is, let's say this is the place A, this is the place B, and what they are saying, from A to B it taking 8 hours and B to A it taking 10 hours. Okay, find out the ratio of speed of boat and the speed of stream. Okay, so in that case what we supposed to do, simple, add the time, it becomes boat, subtract the time, it becomes this stream, which is 9:1, and that's all done. Okay, whenever they have given you the time, but yes, take care about that they are moving A to B and back B to A, no other changes there. Okay, so add the time, you will get the speed of boat, subtract the time, you'll get the speed of stream. This is just ratio, not the actual. The ratio is 9:1 or 18:2. Actually speed may vary, depends upon the distance. Okay, so this is one question on boat. There is one more question. This is sufficient, right? These are the basic types of questions we can find in the TST. Okay, let's discuss some of the questions from time and work which we find regularly in the examinations. Like A can finish work in, like, yes, A can finish work in 20 days, B in 30 days. In how many days they can finish the work if they work together is very common, I know. So in general, we solve this like A will take 1 upon 20th work in a day. So rather than doing this, we can do one thing, like take the LCM of this time So their LCM is 60. Now let's assume work equals to 60 unit. Okay, and A, who is taking 20 days to finish 60 units, it means A will produce 3 units a day and B will produce 2 units a day. So we supposed to first we in order to solve the questions, we supposed to find out their individual units they are completing in a day and the total units of work. So these two things are we supposed to find out. Now, what next we supposed to do is now they will give you the condition like if they are working together, then how much time. So if they are working together, so it will take only 60 divided by 5 because they'll produce 5 units a day. It becomes 12 days. Okay. So 1, when they work together. Okay. Now second, when they work on alternate days. Okay. Now alternate days question is little bit tricky. And why I'm saying little bit tricky? Because it may have two different ways to solve. Like when you can say if they are working together, they can complete the work in integral 12 days. Okay. So it means if they work on alternate days, work will be completed in 24 days, irrespective of who will begin. Take care. Irrespective of who will begin, the work will take 24 days to complete because here we are finding the integral number of days when they are working together. If suppose this work was 63 units, for example, okay. So 63 units have. So abhi, now what will happen? So in 24 days, they will produce 60 units. Till here, no issue. Now, in the next day, if A will begin, then work will finish in 65 days. But if B will begin, so 65 next one day, he'll create 2 more units. Then we left with 1 unit, so it will take 1 by 3 days further. So total 25 whole 1 upon 3 days. So there may be two different answers, depends upon who begin. So if we want work finished earlier, then we should begin with faster. If faster person begin on day 1, so work will be faster, work will be completed earlier. Or if the slower person will begin, it will take more time to complete. Okay. So in that case, simply like they are producing 5 units, that is the cycle. So we simply divide 63 by 5. It will take 12 cycle of 2 days each. So 24 days. Okay. Next, now we left with 3 units. Now we know who's supposed to work. If A is supposed to work, it will take 1 day. If B is supposed to work, it will take 1 day and then 1 unit. Now A will come, it will take 1/3 of day. So there may be two different answers. So this is when faster begins, this is when slower begins. Okay. Now we are solving question based on the same data. Now in that question we find another variation, like they'll ask if A begin the work and B join him after 5 days. So if A begin the work and B join him after 5 days, it means A is working alone for 5 days. So in 5 days A will produce 15 units and rest 45 units they are completing together in 9 days. So total time will be 9 days these and 5 days earlier. So it will be 14 days. Okay. This question sometimes becomes more trickier than when they ask in a reverse direction, like A and B begins together. A and B begins together, but B quit 5 days before completion of work. Okay. So when B quit 5 days before completion of work, it means A has worked 5 days alone. So 15 units is what A has produced alone. The rest 45 A and B completed in 9 days. It means B quit after 9 days. Okay, so this is a little bit trickier because what happens sometimes in what students made wrong is like they take in last 5 days they are supposed to be 25 units, like, or they say they work 7 days together. Okay, and rest 25 units A alone created. So this is wrong because in that case A has to work alone for 8 2 upon 3 days, 8 1 upon 3 days, and it means B has quit 8 1 upon 3 days before completion of work. Okay, so take care when they are saying some person has left before completion of work some days. So in the, only for those days, like A quit, B quit 5 days before completion of work, it means A have worked 5 days alone in the last. Okay, so and now the next variation we can find on this question, like with the help of C, they completed the work in 10 days. Okay, now in how many days C alone can complete? So we already know that 6 unit work is there, they completed in 10 days. It means 6 units each day are producing, while A and B are producing 3 or 2. It means C must have producing 1 units a day. Okay, so if C is producing 1 unit a day, it means it will take 60 days to complete the work when he is working alone. Okay. Sometimes they also talk about money, like this is they finish the project and earn rupees 7,000. Let's see. Let's make it 6,000. Okay. And what we have, no, what is the share of A, B, and C, like in this question? So they are producing 6 units. A is producing 3 units. So A will get 3,000, B will get 2,000, and C will get 1,000. So in time and work questions, we always divide the money in the ratio people are working. Okay, so the higher the work, higher the money. Lower the work, lower the money. So this is the way we can solve this type of questions. So money sharing is what something you just need to calculate their work done. Okay, and yes, there is one more type of questions, like A and B begin together and B quit after some days and the entire work completed in 15 days. Got the question? A and B together begin the work, but B quit after some days and entire work completed in 15 days. Okay, so we know one thing, that A started the work and with B, but B quit in the way, and A keep on working from day 1 to day 15. It means A must have created 45 units. So how many units B supposed to produce? 60 minus 45, which is 15. So B supposed to produce only 15 units. So he will take 7.5 days. It means B has quit after 7.5 days. Okay. They can ask you the same question in a different manner as well. Like A and B, A begins the work and B join after some times, and they complete the work in 15 days. So after how many days B joined? Okay. So we know that work has been completed in 15 days. Let's see, make it 16 instead of 15. So in 16 days work has been completed. It means A has regularly working for all 16 days. So it must have produced 48 units. Rest 12 units B has to produce, which he can do in 6 days. So it means 16 days was total working and B supposed to work only 6 days. It means he must have joined after 10 days. Also, they can ask the same, that A and B together, okay, in the previous one type. Okay, so this is the next type of questions. Also, you can get a question, yes, where they give you work directly. Like they can give you A is 3 times as efficient as B. Okay, now we are taking the new data rather than the earlier. A is 3 times more efficient as B. Okay, so A is producing 3 times number of units and takes, let's see, 20 days less to complete a work. Okay, so this is what their efficiency. So time has to be the inversely proportional of their efficiency. It means if A is taking time t, B is taking time 3t, and their difference is 20 days. So don't mind about the sign. You can reverse the order. So it means t equals to 10. So A is completing work in 10 days and B is completing work in 30 days. Okay. So in this case, they'll give you direct time, or you can say the efficiency, and you can solve questions like this. 20 days less or sometimes more दे सकते हैं. They can give you कि A कितना time कम ले रहा है या B कितना ज़्यादा ले रहा है. In this way. There is one more very important questions you can find here, and that question is when a person is destroying or sometime a leakage in a cistern, like due to a leakage, it takes okay. So let's see a question. So a tap A takes 15 hours to fill this tank, but due to a leakage, it takes 20 minutes more. Okay, so question is clear. The tap alone can fill the tank in 15 hours, but due to a leakage, it is taking 20 minutes more. So let's see how to solve this. This is R, so it will be better if you convert this into R. So 1 by 3R. Take their LCM. Okay, so their LCM is 15. Not 15. Okay. Sorry, it is not 15. So it is not, you can say 3. So 15 hours in the first case, and second case 15 plus 1 by 3 means 46 upon 3 hours. So take the LCM of 15 and 46 upon 3. So their LCM will be 990. Let's see. Let's assume this tank is 990 liters. Sorry, 690 liters. Now let's see. So this tap, who is filling in 15 hours, it will fill 690 liters in 15 hours. So it means each hour it will fill 46 liters. Okay, and another taking 46 upon 3, it means it is filling 45 liters an hour. It means this is only tap. This is tap plus leakage. It means leakage is drawing the water at the rate of 1 liter per minute. So generally they ask you how much time leakage will take to empty the tank. So 690 liter tank, 690 minutes. So it becomes 11 hours and 30 minutes. So this question you always find in the same manner. So here were questions based on some time and work and time, speed and distance. Let's see a few questions from CI, compound interest. Okay. So in compound interest, you can find questions like a man invested rupees 8,000. Okay. So the first question let's discuss is find out the difference between SI and CI on rupees. Let's see, 8,000 at 7% per annum. Okay. So difference between SI and CI. So it's very simple. It's a P into R square upon 10,000, where P is principal, R is rate upon 10,000. And this is the difference for 2 years. Okay, it's not for 3 years. It is only for 2 years. So now multiply, it's 39.2. So this will become the difference between SI and CI. Sometimes they can give you in vice versa, like on certain amount of money, the difference between SI and CI for 2 years at 6% per annum is rupees, let's see, 28.8. Okay, this is the difference. This is the rate. Find out the sum. So we know that this difference equals to P into R square upon 10,000. So P becomes 288,000 upon, it becomes 8,000 again. Okay, so this is a common question on CI, which you can find in both the ways. Okay, there is one more question which is very easy, kind of like they have given you a principal, let's see, 12,000. It's a principal. They have given you the time, which is 2 years. They'll also give you the CI, which is let's see, 1230. Now you supposed to find out the rate. Okay, so in that case, like what you can do is like very simple thing. We simply find the interest percentage. So you can find interest percentage is 10.25. Okay, so rate should be less than half, means 5.125. Less than this, actual rate is 5%. Okay, so it is very easy, like when you do this process, you'll get the result. And now look at the options, you will find clearly that this is the only possible option. Okay, so need not to calculate need not to put the formula and calculate the actual value. You can find easily by using the approximation. Let's have one more question based on CI. Like a sum of money doubles itself in 7 years. In how many years it will becomes, let's see, 16 times. Doubles in 7 years. Okay, so let's see, this is principal x. In 7 years it becomes 2x. In next 7 years it will be again double. Okay, and in next 7 years it will again be doubles, and in next 7 years it will be again doubles. It will take total 28 years. But in case of SI, what will happen? In 7 years it becomes 2x. In next 7 years it will becomes 3x. In next 7 years it will becomes 4x, and so on. So in every 7 years you will earn interest of x. You need the amount 16x, it means you need interest of 15x. So it will take n number of years, which is 105. Okay, so this is another a very important question, जहाँ पर SI और CI दोनों में आपसे बोल सकते हैं. There is one more questions we can find based on SI and CI. Like SI for 2 years is rupees 800, and CI for the same amount at the same rate of interest is, let's see, 816. Okay, so here you're supposed to find out the principal. Okay, for 2 years this is given. So what is the rate? Rate is what? The difference between 816 minus 800. Okay, upon, because this CI is for the 2 years, so make it half. into 100. This is the rate, which is 4%. Okay, why this happened? Because this 816, so 800 is SI, this 16 rupees has to be the interest of the, like you can see, simple interest for first year is 400 and second year is again for 400. But compound interest for first year should be 400 and the next year should be 416. So how this 16 rupees extra? Because now the principal has been increased by 400. Let me make you more clear. Like SI and CI. What happens in SI? Let's see, principal is P. So interest 400. Next year is again 400. But what will happen in C? Principal is P for the first year. So interest is 400. But for next year, principal will be P plus 400. So interest is 400 plus 16. So this P has the interest of rupees 400. So this 16 has to be interest of rupees 400 only. Okay. So the rate becomes 4%. Now, if you want to find out the principal, so it's simply 400, 4% is 400, so 100% becomes 10,000. Okay. So this is the way we can solve question on SI and CI. Okay. So I'm winding up my session here. I'll be try to available for tomorrow as well. So I'll be glad if you tell me which topics and which type of questions you want me to discuss, so that I can discuss those type of questions which you found like difficulties, or sometimes you can ask me the questions whichever you find which are lengthier, how to make them short, because the main problem is time. The questions are very basic. So thank you very much for joining this session. I'm winding up here one more time. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want any questions from my side to discuss, please send me. Thank you very much.